Okay, day 18, I finally feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm in Oak Ridge. When I get in the middle of the Fusion Center in Oak Ridge, I feel like I've made it home. So here, let's wind the clock back now. 1994, Hillary is the shadow Secretary of State. She's trying to push out, I think it was, I can't remember the older guy. Then she got Madeleine Albright in there as to be the real shadow Secretary of State in 96. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name right now. I can see the old guy. But anyway, she wants to develop rat lines. This whole series has been about rat lines. Who knows? You start with a strategic resource. Start with a strategic resource. There is no more strategic resource than uranium. Who knows about it? Bob Mueller. This is even before fusion centers. Bob Mueller. Bob Mueller knows where the strategic resource is. The uranium. 1994. Now the agreement is called President Executive Order 12898. But there's an easier way to remember it. Think of one, that's easy, like 111 for the Pac 111. And then think 1928, 28's Babe Ruth, Yankees win. 1998, Yankees win, 28-98. So 128-98. That's the, look it up, executive order that forces now these people that are trucking, I wish a truck was going by right now, that are trucking this stuff to at least do 15% set aside for minority businesses. Now the key here is, here comes the truck, the key here is you put your operatives in the trucking companies. You gotta have your trucks. They can't be somebody else's trucks, they gotta be your trucks, okay? And then you take the rat lines and you just divert rat lines, right? And all along the way, these become your trusted rat lines and they stay over years. Even if you go out of power, you still own the rat lines, you still own the revenue. And when you get back in power, like you're back in power as a senator from New York, you strengthen the rat lines. You add some lanes to the highways, add some more trucking companies. So I think as we're looking at this, taking this apart, it was important to get the seed, and that's why I had to get the executive order 12898. 12898 is going to be the thing that unwinds this whole thing. If Trump wants to unwind it today, just publish 12898, all the detailed plans around it. Just like if he wants to get to the CIA and the FBI, publish PDD 62, and then that all unfolds. So Trump could do this with one stroke of the pen. The key here is now following the trucking companies. There's a little bit of legwork involved, but you know where it's starting. The starting point is going to be, I love the truck behind me, it's going to be Oak Ridge, Tennessee. The ending point is going to be one of the ports. Easy. So we've outlined the 20 ports for the 20 congressmen, the 20 BlackBerry carriers. They're going to be around the West Coast and East Coast. We know where those are. So really now it's a connect the dot game between Oak Ridge and maybe at some point it was Piketown. Maybe at some point it was Paducah, Kentucky. I think what happened is Ohio and Kentucky decided to go together and Tennessee became the merge point of the two. Just a guess. But you still have container business for the cleaning of the containers going back to Kentucky and the cleaning of the containers going back to Ohio. So I think that's where McConnell, that's why he all of a sudden comes into my restaurant Thursday night. Why? So I think he still has the Paducah. There goes my truck. There goes my truck. Thank you. Finally I got a truck. I wanted an Uzbeki truck, a big Uzbeki truck. Those big white trucks are going to be Uzbeki trucks. Okay, so the cleaner business, let's just call it the cleaner business. That's going to be drugs, I think, going into Kentucky. Mitch McConnell, I think you're going to have Sherrod Brown or somebody like that in Ohio. It's going to be a Senate-type Foreign Relations Committee person, I think. On the Tennessee business, the Corker business, that's going to be the more, that's the strategic resource. That's the thing that drives the whole engine, just like uranium drives the whole reactor or the bomb, right? So gives you a good visual. The other statue or whatever structure, the art structure, is called Liftoff. And I said that's going to be my symbol for Tennessee Valley. Well, it was actually the artist saw a bunch of kids flying balloons at the National Mall, and I almost think that is a perfect analogy for us. She's liberating the uranium. She's liberating the uranium from Oak Ridge to all of her minority trucking companies. And John McCain is doing all the blue water part through Mullen. He's doing all the blue water part of the rat lines. It really makes it a good deal. Army is land with Petraeus and Hillary, and the blue water part of this is going to be McCain and whoever. McCain and Graham. It's always going to be McCain and somebody.